I'm David. My background is in finance, and I'm originally from the Netherlands. So if you're trying to guess where my accent is from, that's where. Like I said, I worked in finance before. I did my master's in finance, but now I'm a farmer. I am really. I'm a co-founder of Future Greens, which is an indoor farm, but I'll explain later. Right. So I think every good startup starts with identifying a problem, right? And us founders, we really like salad. We like salad, so we went to the store, we bought a nice bag of salad, and what did we notice? In 2 weeks, oh, in 2 days, sorry, 2 days, 3 days, it just turned into a brown mushy, pathetic bunch of leaves. Right? And that's bad. And if you look at where this salad that we get in the stores, where does it come from? It starts to make sense because most salad that you find in the stores, it's either imported from Spain or Italy, or if you're talking herbs, it's even further than that. It's North Africa sometimes. Right, and it's actually a trend in the UK, and it's an increasing trend. Right now, 67% of all lettuce found in the stores throughout the year is imported. 10 years ago, that was around 50%. Going back to 2000s, that was around 40%. So it's increasing. And why is it bad? Well, when greens travel, they travel all the way from overseas. They spend days in transport. Days in transport that shorten their shelf life. So that when you buy a bag of salad, you think it's fresh, but it actually is a week old because it's spent days in transport. And this is bad. This is bad if you're a salad lover like us, because you don't get a chance to eat it. And actually 40% of salad gets wasted before households have a chance to use it in their dishes. And that amounts to 37,000 tons of food waste just from salad alone. So that's this big food waste issue, right? But then imagine if you're a retailer. Imagine if you buy salad in bulk and most of it or half of it goes bad before you get a chance to sell it. So a shorter shelf life is actually quite a big issue. Add to that inconsistency in quality and supply, because if you're a retailer, you want the best salad on your shelf, always. But sometimes that comes from Spain, sometimes it comes from growers in Italy, and rely on British growers. But that just means that you have to try a lot harder to keep that consistency in quality and quantity going that you would like throughout the year. And of course, you got the issue of food miles, so produce travels, that's CO2 necessary. We think CO2 emissions. Add to that flavor deteriorates as the amount of food miles go up. And lastly, growers overseas, they grow outdoors in a nice warm climate, but that means that all kinds of pests get on your produce and can take out a farm in a week. So they have to use pesticides. There's no other way for them. And we looked at all that and we thought we could do better. And we did. We built an indoor farm. We launched roughly 3 months ago. And we grow, that's actually a picture of how we grow. So we grow using LED lights. We have recirculating water systems. And we grow multiple shelves. So, and all of that really grow is about 20 minutes from here. So it's right on the outskirts of Sheffield. And because we're so close to the consumer, it means that we can harvest and deliver usually on the same day. So our greens, that's why our greens just keep much longer than anything you'd really be able to find in the supermarket right now. Because we're in this climate control, so we can grow the same great quality crop that's grown locally year-round, no matter rain or shine. We don't have to use pesticides, of course, with proper procedures, but we're much safer from disease and pests indoors. and we farm very sustainably. We use about 95% less water with our farms than field farms do outdoors. And because everything is contained, you'll see there's less fertilizer and less space as well. And then zooming out from salad and looking to modern agriculture as a whole, it's not looking good, to be honest. In the next 50 or so years, various institutions predict water scarcity. So it's going to be harder and harder to get fresh water. Earth has already lost 1/3 of its arable land in the past 40 years due to intensive farming practices that we use today. Weather is getting more extreme. Climate is getting unpredictable. And despite all of those challenges to the food system, the UN predicts that we need about 60% more food than we produce right now to feed a growing population. And we, as an indoor farm, we hope to be the solution. We use less water. We can turn any building, as long as we got electricity and water, into a farm, really. We're not dependent on weather or the seasons. And we grow vertically, meaning we can utilize the space much better than outdoor farms can. And the greens are just the beginning. We're focused on greens because it's a nice, popular crop to grow, but we can do so much more. Right. Naturally, we're not the only ones that do this. There's multiple indoor farms that are forming both in the U.S. and in America, and that's great. It's the modern agriculture needs a change, and there is space for multiple players to enter the industry. That said, we do have unique things that are unique to us. In the UK, specifically, we're the first indoor farming company that is entering retail right now. So there's the advantages that I've described. You wouldn't be able to go to the supermarket and get them because there's simply no indoor farms operating commercially at this time. So that's a first that we've got, and then the second is that we make use of a reusable substrate that we've developed ourselves during a 2-year R&D period, and this is cleaner compared to what other farms use because it leaves no particles on produce, so it allows us to farm a super clean crop that doesn't need washing. And if you don't wash your produce, it stays fresh for much longer. And because it doesn't need washing, it's much more convenient as well. So you don't spend time cleaning the dirt of your lettuce. It's cheaper for us to grow it as well because currently substrates that are used in farming, they get used once and then they get thrown away. Right, so there are single-use substrates, which it adds up, especially if you farm crops which have a short crop cycle of a month or so. You really add up those substrate costs, and we don't have that problem because we can reuse our substrate for years on end. And lastly, it's zero waste, so we don't have to throw any away, and it really makes our produce a bit more sustainable in the competition. So you might think, how big of a deal are greens really? They're a big deal. It's almost 100 billion industry, right? That's great for us because we have a scalable technology. So the farm that we build out in Sheffield, we could build that in London, we could build that in Stockholm, Beijing, wherever. So we really do have a play at the global market. But looking closer to home, just in the UK, it's a 700 million industry. It's actually the third most popular produce category, right after tomatoes and potatoes. And we hope that just a fraction of those annual 700 million sales are made by people who care about the environment and want to do the right thing by supporting local, pesticide-free, sustainable produce. And that's really is the consumer that we're targeting. Right, and this is our actual product. This is what you could buy in the stores now, which is a We sell baby leaf, which is like a nice combination of the staple crops like lettuce, rocket, that we add shoots to. In this case, a pea shoot. We also sell the staple herbs like coriander and basil. And last but not least, we sell microgreens, which are it's about 10 to 14 days old, and they're tiny sprouts of crops like broccoli or red cabbage, which look really nice. They taste much better than the adult variant. They're much more nutritious as well because these tiny sprouts, they have to grow out into like a broccoli head or a cabbage head. So they've got a lot of the nutrients loaded up to grow out. So this is who we currently do. You might know some of these stores. All four of them are amazing partners and great pillars of the local whole foods and organic foods community. They've really helped us tell our story and get our produce out there. And then this is the team. This is us, Future Greens. It's me on the left with my finance background, my co-founder who is here today. That's got a tech background in computer science, really helping us collect data from the farm, analyze it, and improve. And then we've recently joined by Sebastian, who has got an engineering background, and he's helping us put automation into our systems because there's a lot to automate in farming in order to reduce cost of labor. We're also advised by Stephen Blake, which has 50 years in IP, helping us get that IP protection, and Paul Ward, which is the salad guy who's worked for the biggest salad company in the UK. Yeah, great guy. So that's now you know where we're at, what we're doing. Quickly want to tell you about what's next. So we're really looking to automate our farm, add robotics into it, and automated systems in order again to drive the labor down. We're looking to scale up as well because farming really is an industry of scale, and ultimately we want to enter bigger retailers to just make the produce available to the people in the UK and then hopefully the world. Thank you.